In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, they are a few. Shinru Suzuki. Welcome to Casa de Confidence, a podcast for you. You'll hear some incredible women
and some awesome, cool dudes
going confidently in the direction of their dreams and living in the purpose of their heart.
You're our host,
Julie DeLucca-Collins, and you are our sidekick. Hashtag handsome hot husband.
That again.
And the producer of the show.
That I am.
I am an author, speaker, coach, dreamer, and most of all,
we help people go in the direction of their dreams
and support them on their purpose. So pull up a chair,
grab a drink,
and make yourself at home because our casa
is your casa.
Welcome back to another episode of Casa de Confidence. Friends, it's been a few weeks of solo episodes. Well, a few, 2, 3, who knows? But today, I've got hashtag handsome hot husband Dan back in the studio with me.
Oh, and I've missed being here. Honestly, recording together really feels like our little secret sauce, right? We get time to spend together.
We spend a lot of time together, dude.
Yeah, but we actually have a conversation.
We have a lot of conversations. Are you kidding me? Are you telling me that when I'm telling you to pick up your shoes, it's not a conversation?
You ask me to pick up things?
I do.
Oh, I guess I don't. I don't remember ever hearing that.
You don't ever remember. Okay, got it. Listen, life and business with you and collaborating is something that makes everything work better. And I am so grateful for that. I was updating our Casa de Confidence website today. It's not live. The new one is not live yet, but I was updating it. And that's one of the things that we talked about in that website is how we collaborate together. And anyhow.
And I think, we haven't killed each other yet. So I think we work pretty well together.
I think we work very well together.
I'm not just saying every moment of it is easy and bliss.
I'm a delight every time.
You are a delight. But
we
have our moments.
I have my well, okay, you're right. I got a little cranky early because I was hungry. I have a headache. Like, come on. And I don't have a lot of patience when people move slowly.
You got hangry.
I was hangry.
You were hangry.
And it seemed like all of you were like so slow
but
motion.
You know what? We did take a night off last night.
We did. We went to Bingo Loco.
Bingo Loco.
If
that
it's
was a lot
coming
of fun.
to your area, you should go. It's a good night out, a good date night. And if you go with friends, it's even better.
And I went in not knowing. Julie knew. I went in not knowing what it was about.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what it's about, go Google it or
Google it.
Whatever.
Or now that you are hearing about Bingo Loco here on the podcast, I can guarantee you that you are going to get a Facebook or an Instagram ad for it.
I'll just go check out Julie's Instagram because she was trying to win a prize last night by posting socials.
Yeah, I guess apparently I am not like a native digital creator because I thought I was putting a lot of posts on my stories, but apparently 7 is not a lot of posts, but 44 is.
She did 44?
You didn't hear them say that? Yeah.
Oh
44 stories. Like, what
I'm
the
so
heck?
glad you didn't do 44.
Well, you know what, Dan? I will tell you.
I already, after a while, was like, have you posted? How many? And I'm like, what, did you put like 7, 8 of them? I'm like, you're done. Put your phone down and enjoy yourself.
Oh, my gosh. Listen. I'm talking about enjoying ourselves and talking about collaborating because I want to go back to this and I want to make sure that we do a shout out. Our client, Natalie Kime from Nickels and Dimes, has rebranded to Chat with Nat.
She is no longer Nickels and Dimes. She is
Chat with Nat. And she's talking about faith, family, friends,
and fun.
Fitness and fun.
Fitness.
All the 5
all the good
F's
things
of life. And we had the pleasure of being her first guest. What? Faith, family, friends, fitness, and fun.
There's one missing, though.
What? Oh, jeez, Louise. Really? Just like a guy. Okay, go check out our episode with Chat with Nat because you're going to love that conversation. Dan and I have done some interviews together, I think, maybe once or twice before. But Natalie really has a way of digging deep. And some of the stuff that she dug into with us really was good. And yeah, We opened up a lot about our relationship, what it's like to work together. And overall, we had a lot of fun in the conversation.
It was an honor to be on our show. And I do not go on many podcasts as a guest. I can count on less than one hand how many I've been on because, I'm the tech, you're the talent. And this was neat. It was neat to be on it, and it was a good conversation.
Yeah. So, the fact that we work together in our partnership isn't always easy, but it's powerful, just like our guest this week.
Yes, our guest this week just happens to be a couple who work together.
That's right. And they bring to the table different strengths. And when you work together with different strengths and complementing each other, you have one purpose. It becomes very strong to be able to do what you do in the world.
Hey, Julie.
Yes, Daniel.
I'm looking forward to that interview. But you know what I enjoyed doing?
What?
Listening to your solos.
Oh, did you really listen to my solos?
Absolutely. Why would I not listen to you while you were away?
Well, because I did them myself and did not require your services for editing. And I know that you don't like to listen to me when I do my own things.
You did a good job.
Well, thank you very much.
And people knew you were away.
What did you like the most about the solos, about the topics?
The sorry thing.
Because you do that a lot.
No, I used to do that a lot.
You're right. You used to do that. When I first met you.
Every once in a while, I'll fall back into that. But I'm pretty cognizant of it now.
Yeah.
As to where there's silly things you say you're sorry to. It becomes a filler word after a while,
It does.
And it loses its meaning.
It loses its meaning. Absolutely. And for me, what I've seen with a lot of my clients when they apologize a lot, right? And this is why I tell them stop apologizing, but it's because it diminishes your confidence. Every time that you apologize, you're telling yourself, I messed up. I'm not good enough or whatever, your little go-to tape is in there. And it really just is detrimental.
There's certain things that you may do that you ought not be sorry for.
Sure.
Don't apologize for being bold. Don't apologize for having a different opinion. Well, I'm sorry, but I feel differently about that. No,
many women are not taught that.
I feel differently about that.
Right. Or the thing is, right, we haven't seen a lot of women, or when we do see women in particular, be bold, step up, not apologize, and be assertive, then immediately, right, when we see it in a guy, leadership skill. When we see it in a woman, what a bitch. And I think that we need to rewrite this narrative. It's okay for a woman to be strong, opinionated, and not necessarily, you're not losing your femininity. You're not losing your softness as a woman. You are just creating the space where you are teaching people how to treat you. You're communicating your needs, and you're also showing them who you are without unapologetically.
If you guys want to listen to the episode, go back and listen to it. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good episode from my not sorry lady over here. The other episode that you did, though, was kind of cool because you weren't in Key West this time. You were in New York.
I was in New York,
you were in your city and ruminating and reminiscing about the life you were in and the life you are now in now. And that was kind of neat.
I think that, there's so many different places where we end one chapter of our lives and we think, oh, we arrived. But no, that chapter is just the beginning that will lead you to another messy middle that will lead you to the ending of that chapter to begin another. So let's be okay with the messy middle, the ending of chapters, the beginning of new ones, even though we might be apprehensive. What's the favorite chapter that you've had in your life, Daniel?
I'm living it right now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's you. This is the thing. You have a past, you have a future, but the only thing you can, I mean, this is corny and it's a thing. The only thing that's real is the present. The past is the past. The future is the future. Right now is the only thing that's tangible and that you can touch.
Yeah. Well,
you try to make that present the best present it can be. And yes, this is a good time of life for me. And I thank you for a lot of that.
Well, you're welcome for a lot of it. But one of the things that I learned as I began my personal development journey, and I've been thinking a lot about this last couple days, is because I've been looking back, going back, and it's very easy that when you look back, you can go back and feel depressed over mistakes, over, maybe regrets. And the other piece of it too, though, is if we spend too much time in the future, then we become anxious. And I really, all my life, have struggled to be in the moment. Because I'm always looking, okay, when that happens, when I do this, when I finish, because I tend to be the person that has all these goals and places that I want to be and do and have. And at the same time, I think, oh, did I show up, or how would I show up differently? And I think that the biggest thing that we can do is really intentionally, sure, have a vision for the future, but put that away and decide, what does it take for us today? Right? What can we do today and be in the moment, which I am hoping that I can continue to do in these days that I have in my life.
Oh, that's very nice.
You're welcome.
So, Julie.
Yes, Daniel.
We should get on to the episode. But what do you remember about the episode? If you think back to your conversation, what do you think about that episode? Was there anything important that people need to look out for?
Well, Colleen and Dana are the Digital Dojo. And one of the things that first of all, this conversation was enthralling. It's so good. Like one of the, when you interview people, sometimes you walk away and you're just like, oh, that was juicy. Oh my God, that was so good. And we wanted to keep going. We probably could have kept going, but there's a lot of things that we talked about. We talked about the power of being a beginner and embracing that white belt mind, which we unpacked in the episode. We also talk about why that matters to have the beginner mindset. And when we do, right, we can let go of shame. We can reframe things. And Dana's phrase, innocence is harmless lack of knowledge, is a game changer. So for me, it really is something I can't wait to listen to the whole episode again, because it really connected a lot of the dots between the past and the present for me. And of course, I really feel like anytime that I feel stuck, right, it's good to ask yourself, where have I been before that gave me the experience or the tools to be able to bring into this moment? And we also talked about the feminine and masculine energies, which I just said. And
well, I heard a little bit about you guys talking about planning stuff, planning also.
And we need to take some action steps, and we give you some really good action steps in here. So,
that kind of reminds me of, a lot of people will fake confidence, fake it till you make it, pretend that you know everything. And I think that whole notion's kind of gone away. And now it comes down from being willing to make a fresh start.
Right.
Be a beginner.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
learn.
Absolutely.
So
and
that's something, that's where confidence is built. And
absolutely.
I know you're all about
I am
the
all
confidence
about
in this
that.
casa.
And listen, the last thing that I'm going to say that we did talk about is, because we talked about a lot of brain research and science, but we also talked about the woo, which, is one of my favorite parts of this episode. Because it's all right to be a skeptic and Colleen admits that even sometimes she questions the woo of healing, and science is starting to catch up with all of that. So we talk a little bit about that. So it's I'm really curious to see what people think on that part of the conversation.
Cool. So I have to say, whether you're saying sorry too often, struggling in the messy middle, or feeling stuck in old patterns, confidence. I felt like I needed to talk about confidence. Is about recognizing what's really going on underneath the hood, and then give yourself permission to grow.
Awesome.
I mean, I think that's important. You have to give yourself permission.
Yeah.
Instead
absolutely.
of being stuck in that one spot, saying that I'll never be able to learn this because I'm not good at it. No, you're not. It's not that you're not good at it. You're a beginner at it.
You're a beginner, and
that's important to recognize.
Yeah.
There's so many. You know what? It'd be so many people playing the guitar if they could just be a beginner.
Oh Lord.
So
okay.
If all of this is resonating with you, Julie, do you have something that you want to tell the listeners?
Well, let's talk about it together, because if you want to uncover what the beginner's mindset is, whether it be for your business or for the things that you're planning right now, I would love for you to connect with me. And also, by the way, Colleen and Dana are opening up their program. And the information is going to be in the show notes. I'm really, really grateful that they are going to come and share a little bit of the incredible things that they do. But more importantly, they are running a live course on the happiness reset. So I have the information in the show notes. So go check it out, because it's going to help you clear your patterns of stress, anxiety, grief, guilt. Maybe I should sign up for this. Anyway, that's all I got for you, Daniel.
After not doing the intro for a while, I think I'm starting to lose my voice. So, Julie.
Yes.
I think it's time to get onto the interview.
It sure is.
Enjoy the interview with Julie and Dana and Colleen in the Digital Dojo.
Welcome back to Casa de Confidence. Friends, what happens when traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and a lifelong martial artist walk into a room together? No, it's not a joke. It's the origin of something extraordinary. And today's guests, Dana Pemberton and Colleen Robinson, are defining what it means to heal, lead, and live with presence. Their partnership is rooted in contrast, science and spirituality, instinct and intention, stillness and strategy, and yet it works seamlessly because their purpose is unified, helping people become their most aligned and power selves. Looking forward to this conversation. I want to welcome my guests, Dana and Colleen, who are the Digital Dojo. Welcome.
I'm excited already.
Me too. I want to hear those folks.
You want to hear those
so
folks,
much, Julie.
right? Isn't it interesting how when people introduce us, we're like, who is that?
It's amazing every single time.
That happens to me all the time.
Yes,
It's like, oh my gosh. Well, it's a pleasure to have both of you here. I love it when I have couples that come into the show. We haven't had a lot. So you're an exclusive club.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Thank you.
But now, Dana, you're going to be, one of these cool dudes that we refer to in the show. So welcome to the club. You're in double clubs today.
I'm game. Thank you so much.
Now, you two are a fascinating pair. Science, energy, martial arts, mindset. What was the moment that you realized that this unlikely partnership was actually your secret sauce?
Yeah, that is a great question, because for the longest time, on paper, we shouldn't work.
Isn't that the case sometimes? Yeah.
And, we wind down differently. I'll be saying, I've got a great new fiction book. I want to, wind down for half an hour before bed. And Dana says, great, I'm going to watch some MMA to wind down before bed.
Yeah, sounds like the partnership here at Casa de Confidence.
And then we were just co-working with a client actually who just they had been seeing me and then seeing Dana, and we just had this moment of realization that if we worked in the same session, things would go a little bit faster. And then from there, we started teaching together, and we all will sometimes hear things better from one person or another in one way or another. And we realized everything got faster when we were working together.
Wow. I love that. And I think that it's sort of this dance that you kind of like, you were doing your thing, but then you realize, hey, we can really build this wonderful choreography between the two of us. And I think that this is pretty cool. I want to understand a little bit more about the work that you do. And most of us are walking around thinking, I know this happens to me all the time, thinking, oh, I've gotten over my past. And then we hit a wall and realize maybe not so much. How does the new agreement process uncover what we've buried? And how is it different from traditional healing methods?
I think I'm going to take this one if you don't.
Yes, an awesome question. I'm excited to hear the answer.
I think that so often we don't know where those threads are connected. So we think we're having an issue with this thing in front of us when really it started a long time ago.
Yeah.
And every once in a while we'll have those moments. I remember a fight that we had forever. Not that we fight. We get along beautifully.
Same here.
Never a disagreement.
It's unicorns and roses all the time.
All the time. Always.
but we had been having a gentle disagreement. Gosh.
I like that.
17 years ago. And I just couldn't understand why Dana didn't get that he was obviously the problem. He was obviously the problem. And he just didn't get it. And I was not rant, certainly. And I said, why do you not understand? And this light bulb went on and I stopped. And he said, what? I said, that I am not having this fight with you. This happened a long time ago. This has nothing at all to do with you. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate your time. And he said, well, good. Do you want my help with it? I said, probably. I just need to go for a walk for a second. And sometimes we have those moments. We put it together and so many times we don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Dana has a process. He created the Black Belt Mind, and he has a process called AAA, which is about acknowledging, accepting, and agreeing. And we were talking about it one day, and I realized how often he was using this. And he said, there must be a faster way. And this is my brain. I went, faster way? I can make a faster way. Yeah. So we created an app out of I created an app out of that, and then we fine-tuned it together. And what NAP does is it connects all of those threads, so you don't have to consciously walk through it. We've deliberately made the wording, it's a really easy repeat after me process, so that you can just say, this fight I'm having with my partner, and your brain goes, oh yeah, you mean the one from a week ago and the one from a year ago and the thing from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Pattern recognition. I think that, my brain really resonates with that. And I was thinking as I was looking through your stuff that a lot of times, so many of us, right, especially when we're working with clients, we have clients that come in and are feeling lost and stuck, and even we ourselves feel that. And Dana, your background is in martial arts and that pattern recognition. And how does that translate when you're in this coaching session with individuals that are feeling lost and stuck?
Beautiful question, Julie. Thank you. And there's a motif that runs through the martial arts in a very powerful way that is the cornerstone of the way I approach my work, and whether I'm working with teams or individuals, personally or professionally. The majority of my martial arts background is the Japanese martial arts. And in popular culture, you hear the term sensei all the time, right? People think of Karate Kid and all those different movies have popularized that idea. And generally speaking, in its more colloquial meaning, this word sensei means teacher. Traditionally, though, if you look back into the etymology of that word and the kanji and the characters that make up the symbols of that word, what it actually translates to is one who goes before you. So it's a little bit
Mm.
different than just being a teacher in the
A
typical
teacher,
sense
right.
that we think
Yep.
of it, right?
Mhm.
And that definition and motif has been very powerful for me, because what it recognizes is a few fundamental things that really connect it to being a powerful tool of pattern recognition,
Mhm.
and probably the most powerful form of teaching, which is modeling.
Mm.
So,
So glad you said that. Yeah.
oh, that's awesome. Thank you. So the
Yeah.
idea of being one who goes before you in life,
Mhm.
that's the whole literal translation, means
Yeah.
that I'm going to walk down a road,
Mhm.
I'm going to examine it, I'm going to learn from
Mhm.
it, and then I'm
Mhm.
going to share my experience with you
Mhm.
down a road that I've walked before you.
Yeah.
And that grounds the process in such a powerful way, because
Mhm.
you're saying to a person, have confidence in what I'm doing, because
Yeah.
I've done it before.
Mhm. Yeah.
I can't walk down the road for you, and I cannot walk down
Yeah.
any road that you choose to walk yourself, but I
Mhm.
can share my experience of walking down the
Mhm.
road
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
So what it sets us up to be able to do in that relationship is recognize that there's uh, no weakness or shame or fault in learning,
Mm.
and it turns the teaching process into
Mhm.
a process of modeling and sharing. When I
Yeah.
can look at a situation and say, well, I've walked down a road similar to that, or I've walked down this
Mhm.
exact road myself, and I've seen these things. Here are my observations.
Yeah.
Here are what I felt. Here are the things that I felt. What I'm doing is vulnerably and willingly sharing my patterns with you. I'm saying, well, I handled this like this when I did this, and then I learned,
Mhm.
and then I figured out a better way to handle that. And that gives a person the very most important thing that they need to change behavior, and that is a new possibility.
New possibilities. Oh, I really, so good. I want to unpack a little bit of this.
Yeah, love to.
As a teacher, one of the things that you definitely learn, right, is I do, we do, you do. And I love this um, wording of that sensei really showing the way and understanding. And I know that for me, when I'm working with clients, I am not telling you something normally because I am super smart. I'm telling you because I've been there and I know exactly, how that's going to play out. And I'm
Absolutely.
trying to save you, right? I'm trying to give you
Mhm.
the fast track or the cheat sheet to the thing. But like you said, we don't always have people that want to go in that direction and they go in their own. And what I find is that those are the times that we step back and we say, okay, I'm going to hold space for you. And it could be that the direction they're going is fine. It's fine for them. But we're here to model and to show, right, what we have been able to do in the road that we have walked. And I just think that that's one of the biggest things that sometimes, right, in the personal development space, a lot of people think that we're here to do it for people or to tell
Mhm.
them what to do, which is really not the case. I can't hear. Sorry, I can't hear you. You went out for a minute there.
I was just saying that that's beautiful. And I think I fully agree with you. And I think one of the things that you do so gorgeously on this podcast is you hold that space, and you do it in such a way that every single person that's on there, I'm like, well, you've been friends for 20 years, right? So
That's the feel. That's how it feels.
That's how I feel. Listen, this is our home, right? The home of confidence. And this is where we can kind of sit back and unpack these things. And I really hope that not only these conversations between you, myself, or whoever else is on the show, but that people that are listening feel like they're part of this family, part of the party that is happening. But yeah, so thank you so much for that. But I'm curious as well, Colleen, because you created your integral medicine. And I love how it honors the whole person. I really do believe that we cannot separate mind, body, spirit, soul. They're all interconnected. And what do most people get wrong about healing the whole self?
oh, you asked the best questions. Um, I would say that that probably the most common thing is that there, whether or not we're conscious of it, we always have places where we feel like we are at fault. There are places where we're just flat out wrong. We should be ashamed. One of the worst things we ever teach anybody, you should be ashamed. No, you shouldn't. You should never be ashamed. Thank you.
Shame is that terrible feeling and that terrible emotion that sometimes is the one that really drags us down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so those places where we feel like, oh, this is my fault. I'm so stupid. I'm self-sabotaging. Those are the places that we end up tucking away, because obviously nobody can help with that, because I'm the problem. And inevitably, when we uncover those pieces, not only does the emotional aspect ease when we realize, oh, I wasn't at fault. I was coming to a trauma end cycle for an old pattern that I was taught by my parents. So I actually did beautifully with it. Yeah. But also, that's when physical stuff tends to start sliding back into place, because everything's linked.
Everything is linked. I think that the one thing that I learned in my late 30s, early 40s, that you cannot separate it. I know that when one is out of whack for me, surely it's going to show up somewhere else. And it's not something that we can silo. And I think the struggle for a lot of people is when I'm going to silo my health, my physical health. I'm going to silo my spirit or my intellect. And these things are just sort of, everything is part of each other. And I know that maybe there's a listener thinking this is a little too woo, but stick with us, because I think that this is this is such a juicy lesson. At least for me, it has been. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's so funny that you said it could be a little too woo, because every once in a while I hear myself talking and I think, oh, that's crazy.
Right? Oh my gosh. I thought it was just me. I just had a conversation about this earlier. If Julie at 25 listened Julie at 55, she would be on her knees praying for her salvation. Number one. Because I grew up in a very sheltered religious environment, and I think I definitely, my mind was not open to a lot of different things. And I really had to go and learn and be open to questioning and being questioned, right? Like, why do you believe that? And really coming to terms with what I think and what I believe and what I've discovered through doing some of this work. And now Julie at 35, she would be like, okay, she's crazy now. She's gone off the deep end. And the Julie at 45 now is the Julie that says, wow, we've come a long way. I'm so proud of that girl.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting, that whole evolution of how that comes about. So do you feel like that for yourselves?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Very much so.
I love the science of it, because when I start feeling like this is too crazy, I go back to the science and I go, right, it's not crazy. It's just taking science a while to catch up, because we have to prove it rather than feel it.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. And I think that that's the thing many people struggle with, when they need to see that concrete evidence, because for whatever experiences they had at an early age, it caused them to create this wall or defense mechanism where feeling is, I don't want to feel that. So I need to just look at it from my intellectual mind, because they're afraid of what they can feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they cut themselves off from their power.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Now, tell me a little bit of, when do you feel, and I guess I'm going to ask it a different way.
Sure.
Because you work together and you know each other well, what are ways in which your partner cuts themselves off of and gets in their way?
Anyone's partner, or
no,
ours?
Your partnership.
Yeah, so awesome.
You can answer that one. I'm curious.
You've just like made my mind go, and it's been happening since
I'm putting you on the spot.
No,
okay?
I love it.
Great.
I love it. And in fact, in many ways, you are being a great sensei for us right now.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's so kind of you. Oh,
which I really appreciate because
hey, this has been tell Julie how wonderful she is day.
It's a good day.
I had a lady today, and she is, by the way, this really cool woman, and she's in her 80s, but she's worked for like the Miami Heat. Like big people, right?
Yeah.
And she says to me, "This is so amazing that I met you." And I'm not just saying just to, blow smoke up my butt, but she's like, "You're fucking amazing." And she's like 80 years old. And I'm like, "Oh, thank you. That's really cool."
Honestly,
so we must be doing something right?
Yeah, I have to agree. You are creating a very, very generous space for us, very effortlessly.
Thank you.
And it's so present for me. I hope it's okay that I point it out and say it because it's really, really tangibly present for me at the moment. And it's kind of connected to a very similar dynamic that is coming up around your question, because I see in a very powerful way, Colleen do the same thing, right? And I'm quite moved by it. Like I am with you today. I'm always moved by it when I watch Colleen do it, because I learn from it. And that's why I'm saying that you are our sensei today, because you're very generous in your expression of what it is that you've experienced. Call does the same thing in a very powerful way. And you remind me a lot of each other as I'm watching you both and learning from you both, because I'm recognizing how gently and how warmly and how with so much sensitivity and invitation that can be done. So sometimes I watch Call with such great intention to create that space for people, not entirely recognize just how powerful it is, right? and not trust how powerful it is.
Yeah.
And not out of her ego or her self-doubt necessarily, but that almost what I would call that little disconnect comes out of her desire to soothe pain and end suffering as quickly as possible.
Wow.
So she gets so committed and dedicated to delivering the soothing of pain and the ending of suffering that she gets going with such momentum that she almost doesn't recognize when she's done it or when she's doing it with someone in real time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat for me because I get to learn from it. Forever a sensei, forever a student.
Absolutely.
And it's really cool to watch to watch you doing that with us today in this environment, to make the connection between hey, that's what Call does in her way as well too. That's pretty cool. And I can have a value because every once in a while I get to be the grounding force. I get to be the energy that gets to pat her on the back, rub her shoulder, and say, "You can stop.
You did it.
you did it 10 minutes ago."
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And now you're just here in that extension of that intention to just make sure that the person's doing well. And I encourage her all the time to recognize that courage takes many forms, and that I admire and trust her courageousness and recognize it on a daily basis, a moment to moment basis, where I see it being displayed in ways that I learn from because of the sensitivity and gentleness that that courage is expressed with. We always think of courage as a bold thing and big C courage. We're charging in, right? But those little small C moments of expressed courage to just be present with someone.
Yeah, I love this. I love
blow
this.
my mind. And you do it. You do it too. Like you're doing it for us right now, Julie. And I'm feeling really, honestly, I feel really blessed to be just in that energy with you. It's really wonderful. Thank you very
I'm
much.
excited. We're having this conversation. What I've been witnessing as you're speaking, Dana, is a concept that, of course, the listeners are going to kind of roll their eyes and be like, oh, there she goes saying it again. But this is really, truly something that I believe we do this in the show for each other. And we do this in the world for each other. We become each other's believing mirrors. And this is something that I learned from one of my first guests, a dear friend. And that's really what we're called to hold that space for each other. How did you feel with Dana sharing that, Colleen?
One of the beautiful things about doing this work together is I get privileged enough to hear him say things to other people that we don't always have time to say, because I imagine we all have these moments. He'll say to me, "Oh, Cole, you did really well." I'm like, yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. But we gotta get to the next thing.
Yeah.
And you can't hustle through this because you can't. So it's always lovely. And one of the things I love about Dana is, whether it's with me or with you or with any of our clients or family or friends, his sincerity is that he doesn't say something if he doesn't believe it. So being on the receiving end of that sincerity is always like a lovely spotlight.
Yeah, what a gift. What a gift. And I noticed in learning more about the work that you do, you work with executives, couples, and entire organizations. And one of the reoccurring patterns that shows up across the board, I would imagine, is something that you see a lot of. What have you seen in, no matter whether the industry, the personalities, what are the things in the reoccurring themes that you keep finding?
Might be a you question, yo.
Again, lots of sparks and sparkles in my head about what that inspires in me. But I can certainly jump in if it's.
I think that's you.
Yeah, so cool, Julie. Thank you for such sensitivity and insight to be aware of where openings are occurring and where questions will be really fruitful. And I'm hoping that I'm going to cement my place in the cool dude club by approaching it in this manner, because I know so much of your work is dedicated to feminine empowerment, and I love it because one of the things that I see typically throughout all of my work, but particularly in a professional and corporate environment, is people being trapped by really truncated and old definitions of masculinity and femininity.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Gosh, thanks.
Hold on a minute. Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to clap for that.
Oh, awesome.
I used to have a pop-on, and I don't know what I did with it, but I found the clapper.
Amazing. So, and where do we get one? That's
you can get this from Andy Lyons, friend of the show, who is the founder of the New England Podcaster Group. And if you go to look at their Instagram, you can see us when we have meetings that she makes us clap for each other. So isn't
fantastic!
That fun?
Have to get one. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that sparked something for both of you, because as you were asking that wonderful question, that your question sparked to that. I was like, well, yeah, so what do it? I'm like, oh, right. Yeah. So, and I can relate it to my own experience and connected to why I really enjoy working with women and learn a lot from working with women. I'm really genuinely privileged and honored when I get to work with two accomplished women like the both of you right now, because
thank you.
It reminds me of how differently I can approach and express and contain and receive things from a person, because Colleen has a nickname for me, and we can tell you the origin story of it later, but my nickname is Adventure Joe.
Adventure Joe. Yeah, I need to know the story behind this.
because I'm Colleen has dubbed me my own action hero. So
love it.
And where that lands in a very fun and enjoyable way for me is that it's a short form way of expressing a part of my personality that is really present and very true to me. I like to take action. Okay? I like to step forward. assess, acknowledge the situation, assess it, and act. And that has come from, growing up in a military family. My father was in the military. I was headed there myself, had some opportunities to go into professional sport. So that sort of took me in a different direction. But that ethos is very much in my mind and in my heart in a very genuine way.
Yeah.
And yet there are times where I run into situations and I recognize that in what I'm calling the more traditionally masculine way I want to take action, that's not the action that's most effective.
Oh.
So I stop and I have to go, okay, what else would I do here? And I look at it from a standpoint of, well, I know a lot of powerful women. I have a lot of powerful women in my life and around me. I respect them all. What would they do? So it speaks to this, to the direct experience I've got of how powerful the ownership of feminine energy, what we typically think of as feminine energy, is in a professional environment, because what it tends to get people to do is stop and listen, not just hear, but actually listen.
Yeah, listen.
Right. So I say in my work a lot of times, the difference between hearing and listening is that when you're listening, you can actually list the things. A little acronym I keep it simple in my head with, because when you can list the things, you've heard a person.
You've heard it. Yeah.
You've paid attention to, well, this is what I'm experiencing. This is why I think I'm experiencing this. This is what fear it's causing. All of those things are tremendously powerful. And I see Colleen and I have run women's groups for many years together. And it's really interesting because I run a men's group sometimes, but I do the men's group by myself. Whereas we do the women's group together because I get to sit back in awe and watch when women are safe with one another and feel trusted and trusting in an environment. The speed and accuracy and exquisiteness of their communication is mind-blowing. Like I have my jaw's on the floor most of the time, and I feel a lot of the times it's just my presence that's required. I don't have to say much. I don't have to do much, which is kind of tying to the ultimate point I'm trying to make. But I feel so honored and so trusted to witness women who trust each other communicate with one another. And so I take that lesson into the boardroom with lots of executives and try to help the men understand that sometimes all we have to do, the most powerful action we can take, is to be there, be present, and listen. And then on the flip side of that, I always try to remind and inspire women to remember just how powerful that is, and to use it in a manner that is right akin to leadership, is right aligned with leadership, that is a necessary part of leadership, and to have them believe in themselves more in terms of offering what they have to offer.
Yep. That's really one of the reasons I started this work, specifically when I launched, and I knew that I wanted to work with women, because being in the boardroom, in I've told the story countless times, being in the boardroom, not only do I tend to, was I one of the few women, but the women that were there with me really didn't feel that they belong, and didn't really feel and understand that there was a certain level of power. And I could see the gift, the power. And even now in my clients, a lot of times, I see what incredible individuals they are and how they're really impacting and how they're really, I had a client last week said that she had been praying because she thought, God, show me that I'm doing the right thing. And she shared this in a group, and I have permission to use this, because I told her, I said, I need to talk about this because I think that you're not the only one feeling this. And she said that she was really struggling. And one of the things that we were going over her podcast in the group, and we were kind of analyzing what she does and how she helps people. And we all had these amazing insights into what a game changer it is to have someone like her share her expertise. and not knowing, right, that she was praying for God to give her a sign.
Mhm.
But this is, the most important thing that we can do for each other is really be able to remind, like you said, Dana, one another, right? Like, take your power on, step into it. And for the other side of the aisle, look at what you're capable, and you too can do something like that, right?
Very much.
Colleen, do you, and I guess maybe this is for both of you. Do you know what your type is in the disc? Do you know the disc?
I don't know the disc.
Oh, you should know the disc. It's one of my favorite personality profiles.
Oh, cool. We love those things.
Yeah.
Self-knowledge, man.
Making a note right now.
I'm going to be very, so actually, you know who has a really good comprehensive disc is Tony Robbins.
Oh, cool.
So the disc is used a lot in the corporate world, and what it does is it breaks down the personalities into 4 different categories. The D is a dominant personality. The I is that influencer personality. Conscious for the C, and the S, I guess, is supportive. And depending on what your style is, and some of them are your innate style, and some of them is your adaptive style. So for me, I'm a D, a 99% D, and 99% I. So I am like rush, like you're saying, Dana, I'm going to rush in, like I'm going to tell it, I'm going to go in, but I'm also like that. Ooh, I'm so happy social person. Right. And my the S and the C don't come naturally to me. Like the detail oriented, the very supportive. I've had to learn that in my career. But I'm incredibly fortunate that my husband, those are his S and his C are his high points. And he now is learning to, be more of a D, more of an I as well. So you guys should check it out and see where you fall on the spectrum for that, because it's fascinating. And by the way, the James Marlston, I'm saying his name, the guy who is a psychologist in Harvard. He's the person who came up with a disc in the 1940s, I believe. And he did a lot of research, right, in these personality types. He is also and I'm sure my husband will correct me if I'm wrong. He is the person that, I guess, not invented. What do you call, Dan? He created Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's why I wasn't familiar with the disc, but I was familiar with that name. I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah,
that's right. Awesome.
Yeah. And then, of course, we can go down the rabbit hole of how, his wife worked with him, and also he had a mistress, and that the Wonder Woman character is a combination of both his wife and the mistress, which, by the way, when he died, moved in together and lived together. So go down the rabbit hole, people. Go check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the disc it's a really fun thing that, a lot of times it has helped me say, wow, I need to show up. And for my clients, knowing like, okay, this person, it's going to need to, it's not the person to put themselves out there to like take charge right away. Mm-hmm. It's very important. I'm sure that that's a lot of the work that you do as well. Now, do people have to be ready to do the work?
Oh, wonderful question. Really wonderful.
It's so funny. I tend to be a charging person, but your questions really want to sit and percolate in my brain for a moment.
Well, listen, you're my last appointment, so I can stay along.
I don't really feel like I can talk to you all day, Julie. So we're good with whatever time you've got, my dear, because this is awesome.
So fun.
This is really awesome.
Because it's funny. I actually have one quick answer to your last question, if I may take us back for a moment.
Please. I didn't want to move on so fast. That's the D in me. Sorry.
Well, no. It's just, it won't leave my brain. They did a study ages ago. There was a medical doctor was studying these nuns, because in this particular convent, these nuns never got Alzheimer's, never got dementia, and they were trying to figure out why.
Oh,
and so, right?
Fascinating.
Yeah. So they were trying to figure out, is it the food? Is it the water? Mm-hmm. Is it the prayer? Is it the air? We don't know. So they studied them for a really, really long period of time. And then they got permission from most or all of the nuns that when they did eventually pass, could they actually do autopsies and see what was going on?
Okay.
And what they found out was that when they studied their brains after they passed, there are certain physical signs of Alzheimer's and dementia in the brain. And the same proportion of the nuns had those physical signs, but they were not exhibiting the signs we would expect to see from someone with Alzheimer's or dementia. And this was one of the early studies that was leading to neuroplasticity, because what they realized was in this particular convent, you weren't allowed to have one job. You had to do something, and then every 3 to 6 months, switch to something else.
Oh, good.
Right. So the brain kept being neuroplastic, kept learning. So when a part of their brain stopped functioning, it just learned to work around it.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Isn't it amazing? And so, for instance, one of the things, not knowing the disc, but Details and I, we are not friends. We want to be friends. So when there's something like that has to get done, that makes sense for me to be the one who does it, and it is detail oriented. I swear, the thing that motivates me is I go, okay, I'm going to be like one of those nuns. I'm going to make sure my brain's neuroplastic, because
I'm going to want to be like them too.
Right. Which is different from, oh, I don't want to do this. This sucks. This is terrible and boring, to, I'm just helping my brain stay young forever.
Yeah. I mean, and look at the people that are in these blue zones as well. Not only, is their ikigai really guiding them, but really is because they continue to do things to keep active, to move, to so many different things, right? And I think that that's the thing. Sometimes we become so accustomed with aging at times, right? Like, oh, it's time to sit back, take it easy. But this is really prime time for us to continue to excel if we allow ourselves and give ourselves the credit that we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, find that study and send it to me, or I'll Google it. But how fun.
Yeah. And I think that leads into, again, I don't know if you have a different answer, but I think that leads into the idea of, do people have to be ready? Because I would say on the one hand, yes, they do. But on the other hand, I see all the time people in a group, you can see on their face where they're like, that's nice. No, not my thing. And then that one sentence, that one word, that one feeling, that something hits them, and you see them come alive and wake up, and suddenly they're ready.
Yeah.
So yes and no.
Yeah. So if someone, for instance, is coming in and maybe they're not ready, would you say that there is an impact even if they are not? I guess, what is ready? I guess that's the other question too.
Oh my gosh. The take that you're exploring on this, Julie, is again making my mind go.
This is a very fun conversation.
Yeah, it really is. Really, yeah. Thank you again for having.
I'm learning a lot. So
are we. But honestly, I'm telling you, it's really wonderfully disarming and powerful to just be like, oh yeah, sure, we can talk about ourselves. I just want to listen to you. Actually, like, you got so much.
No, we want to talk about.
Honestly,
it's you guys who I want to learn about. The audience hears me all the time. We want to talk about what you're doing.
And keeps coming back for more.
Yeah, and we've been listening to you since we first connected, and I'm not surprised that that feeling of and desire of listening to you is growing as we're actually speaking right now. Right, never mind just listening to you speak to other people, but.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're very kind, and I wonder.
Just being truthful.
Well, thank you. I want to talk about your white belt mind.
Sure.
In reading about it, I love it because it reminds me that being a beginner, right? What we're talking about with the nuns is being that beginner isn't a weakness.
No,
is a wisdom, and that is really what your program does, and it is kind of reclaiming, I don't know, innocence.
Absolutely.
Tell me more about the program.
Yeah, the one that you just summarized perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't want to summarize it, okay, I'm going to
No,
delete
it's-
that, and you need to just tell me what it is.
That you that you obviously explored and read and synthesized thoughts about and then shared them so perfectly. Well, and that's such a great segue out of the readiness question, because in the black belt mind work, we make a lot of distinction between being prepared and being ready, and what the difference is in just the way that we language it around the efficacy of both of those kind of paradigms and ways of being, right? Well, I've got to get prepared, or am I ready? And I'm going to tie it into the question that you asked just a second ago that Carl just answered about, do people have to be ready? And my answer is yes, they do have to be ready. And my job, the role that I try to play with people that I'm working with, is to find whatever way I can to point out to them how ready, quote unquote, they actually always are and can be. That's tied to the concept of the white belt component of the black belt mind. So in the system of the black belt mind, there's 7 belt levels from white all the way to black. The white belt is the most foundational fundamentally, because it's all about recognizing, validating, and celebrating the power of a beginner's mind, and how important it is that for all the other belt levels, as we grow in proficiency and build skill, that the foundation of growing those skills continually is even at the black belt level, to recognize the importance of always approaching things in beginning your learning with a beginner's mind. And that ties to the innocence aspect, because it gives permission to remove the shame around acknowledging that there's something that you still need to learn.
Yeah.
And in that process, you get to recognize this, one of the other beautiful motifs of the martial arts, of black belt thinking, of the slogan that we use in the black belt mind is becoming your own sensei, because that's kind of what the process from white belt to black belt actually is.
Right.
You're internalizing more and more a more proficient level of awareness that allows you to automatically and responsively step into a space of learning without any guilt, shame, resistance, or worry that somehow you're going to diminish your value by admitting that not only do you have something to learn, but that you're excited to learn. So,
and that's the difference too. I think a lot of people will say, okay, I guess I got to learn that, but are they excited? And I think that's, it's high achievers will get this. Sometimes being a beginner is not fun.
No,
but
it's awful.
Coming back and saying, you know what, I'm a beginner. Let me celebrate that. And let me go see what I'm going to learn and how I'm going to learn it. And let's allow ourselves. And sometimes that's what's missing with a lot of the work that we do personally and professionally, I think.
So beautiful. And each of the belt levels has what we call a foundational principle. At the white belt level, the foundational principle is innocence. And we're not necessarily talking about innocence in terms of, guilt or blame, but we're talking about innocence as a state of being. And in that space, with the foundation of the beginner's mind approach, the statement that we use to express that principle of innocence and how it contextually fits into the black belt mind is that innocence is a harmless lack of knowledge. That's all we define it as.
Say that again. Innocence
is a harmless lack of knowledge.
Oh, that's a really good one. Oh, I'm going to put that in a t-shirt or something. That's good.
Please feel free. Yeah, I
I'll give you credit for it.
Oh my gosh, I want everybody to go to it, my dear. I trust you implicitly with that, because I want everybody to as many people as I can get that information to. I want them to have it to reframe their relationship to innocence, And the more and more I apply this work, the more and more I realize that we all have a relationship to innocence. The challenge is we were taught a lot of shameful things about it. And in that offering, in recognizing and codifying innocence in the context of the Black Belt mind as a harmful lack of knowledge, what we're trying to do is give people an opportunity to be ready to drop their shame. And that, again, is all tied up and foundationally connected to this idea of let's not feel bad or guilty or ashamed or afraid of not knowing something. Let's not be afraid to approach learning with the excitement of a child. And that foundational belt, we always say in the dojo that the white belt is actually the hardest belt to get.
Okay.
Because
I like that.
It's the belt that signifies you've acknowledged and accepted and made an agreement with the idea that it's positive and could be very possibly beneficial to you to admit that you don't know something.
Yeah.
And that's why I love to work with, for years, we've worked with lots of women in the dojo, and I love having women in the dojo simply because they tend to be better listeners. And because of that, they tend to be better learners, right?
Wow.
Lots of guys will come in, young, strong, athletic guys. I've worked with lots of professional athletes over the year. I was trying to be one myself, and they think that their strength counts for everything. Their strength, their muscles, their speed, their natural ability counts for everything. So they don't get as vulnerable and open and willing to do what we say, like let the techniques of the martial arts in. They want to use their strength and accomplish that and say, okay, well, yeah, great. You just showed me that. Great. Yeah, I can do it. They're not listening to what you showed them. They're just trying to win. And we recognize, and I say it consistently around the dojo, that I love jujitsu and martial arts, which jujitsu is the base art that I've always trained in, because it teaches men that their physical strength doesn't count for anywhere near as much as they think it does.
That's right.
And that it teaches women that they can be more physically powerful and present than they ever thought possible.
Yeah.
And so much of that is reflected in the approach to the white belt, which is innocence, which is the vulnerability to admit that you don't know something. You have a harmless lack of knowledge, and we all do in some area. And that's the key to learning and building proficiency and skill. And that's how you're ready.
The ancient wisdom, and as I was hearing you speak, I was thinking about the same concepts that you're talking about are talked about by the Stoics, and these concepts continue to be passed on, and it's up to us to understand that that's what helped people get through. And this is the transformation that's available to us if we have that beginner mind, if we have that innocence, if we want to be that white belt. So cool. So many different directions. And I wonder, Colleen, for you, I talk to my clients about confidence all the time, and we talk about habits, and we talk about all these different things that they need to, work on, right? And it's not, confidence is a feeling. Confidence is the byproduct of having the competency in any given skill, right? And knowing that, hey, I got that. I know how to do that. Okay, I feel confident. But you have to go and do it even when you're the beginner. Now, a lot of times I've seen that confidence has been shattered by trauma. How do you help someone rebuild from that place in which maybe that trauma came and really shattered whatever they had built as far as confidence?
Yeah, that's amazing. I think one of the key parts of that, I won't give you the whole description of a trauma cycle, but again, some of the science of it is that when any mammal, including humans, experiences a trauma, what we are drawn to do, what our nervous systems tell us to do, is to, once we're safe, to go over it again and again and again and again, in order to really get the lesson, really know that if that happens again, we can make it out alive, and it won't be coincidence, it won't be luck, it will be because we've mastered that skill. So what happens with most mammals is after they have survived a trauma, they will automatically reenact that over and over and over again in the next half an hour, 3 hours until it's done. Humans do this thing where we go, oh, well, that was uncomfortable. I should get to work.
I should get to work. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want to bore you by telling you about this thing again, whatever it is that so we just don't go through it. So then we get drawn to repeating the cycle, but we don't know why. And again, we view it as a failure because there's this trauma, and for some reason we can't get over it. And what is wrong with me that I can't get over it? Yeah. Yeah. So thing number one, that if there's one takeaway, I mean, I feel like that about everything you've today. If there's one takeaway, it's this. So this isn't my new, if there's one takeaway. If there has been a trauma and you have survived it, you are amazing, you are powerful, and you are in the process of claiming everything from that. And so often in those in-between moments, we think that because there was a trauma, because we were hurt, we think we're weak, we think we failed, we think we didn't try hard enough, we think we should have fought, we think we were stupid to have gone into it. But you made it through.
You made it through. Yeah.
You're amazing. Right? Yeah. You're amazing. And you're on your way to reclaiming so much more power than you ever knew you had before.
Yeah. Wow.
So I could go on because it's one of my favorite concept.
I think, and again, these concepts that we're unpacking are incredibly powerful. And this is your lane. This is where you guys live and the work that you do. I could keep going.
Us too.
I want to know what you have to say, because I keep thinking, oh, we can dig into that. And then you go into a better area. And then
we could do like a whole series on this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's just, I could just, honestly, we could talk to you all day.
Yeah.
Let's do some rapid fire. Are you game?
Sure. Yeah. Please.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hold on. What do you say when people say I'm just wired this way?
It's rapid fire. Awesome. And how can we expand your wiring?
Okay.
Mine's even simpler. I just say, okay. Honestly, Julie, I just accept it in that moment. And it disarms them really quickly, because they think that they're putting it forward as a barrier for us to not work together, for us to, maybe stop working together, for them to not be able to make the progress that they want to make. And I answer it in that simple way because I accept it. Great. Good. So let's keep going. Because that's to me, an expression of vulnerability. If a person lands in that space. And if they're being vulnerable, then I know they also have the capacity for courage. And courage we can build on.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was a medium fire.
That's right. Yes. That's
really good. That's really good.
I thought my okay might have been too short, too rapid fire.
Listen,
that's the honest truth. I just say, okay.
It works for me. It works for me. And I feel like I want to follow up on that, even though it's a rapid fire question. Do you think that's
we can come back if you want? I love the rapid fire.
That telling someone I'm just wired that way, that's just how I am, is that a convenient excuse, or is it just like their truth?
What I would call that is a part of their miseducation. Nice. So it's a truth that's true to them in that moment. And I'm going to honor it in them.
Okay. Makes sense. What do you think of when I say leadership is a title?
I think that it is part of our joyful responsibility to continue to earn titles rather than let them sit on a desk.
This is so fun. Because my honest, I'm going to be vulnerable here too, talking about courage and vulnerability. I would answer that with, okay, leadership is a technology.
Oh, I've never heard it called that.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I keep him around. He says things, and I'm like,
right?
I've never.
Brilliant.
That would be my response. If leadership is a title, I'd say, awesome. Leadership is a technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want to say more? I can tell.
I'm always happy to say more, but anything you want to know more about that, Julie, I'm super happy to answer. But I also am really loving this rapid fire dynamic, so I don't want to slow you down.
So there's two types of people that typically are entrepreneurs, right? And there's more, but two really come to mind. So, what's more dangerous, people pleasing or perfectionism?
Me first, you first.
No, I've been letting you go first because
she's going to think on it.
Yeah. My initial answer to that is both of those are trauma responses.
Mm-hmm.
So as such, they are a sign that the danger has passed, but we still feel like we are in it.
Yeah.
So neither of them is inherently bad. And that being said, once we realize we're doing them, it's our indicator to say, oh, I'm still in this trauma response. Mm-hmm. This is a good notification for me to allow myself to really focus on that and let myself get through it.
Oh, so good. And I think that that's exactly it. I think, when I go into that perfectionism mode, I think, Julie, come on, what's going on really? Because it's so easy. What's one wellness trend that you wish would disappear forever?
Do you have one? I have one.
I'm not meaning on that one. I'm still thinking. I'm still really loving the perfectionism.
The people pleasing and perfectionism
one.
Still.
Yeah, I was just my answer to that is simply perfectionism, hands down.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfection much more than people pleasing, but perfectionism, hands down. If you have an answer, please go for the next one.
Oh, for the wellness trend? Mm-hmm. This is the only way. Yeah. Rather than thank you very much.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
I like it. See, you guys are in sync. So, if that's a wellness trend, right? What's your favorite and unexpected way of self-care? That's not yoga, journaling, so that, something that is unexpected that perhaps the listeners can tune in and maybe implement into their lives.
Mine is whatever the thing is that pulls at you, that feels like it's an indulgence. Mm-hmm. But if it continues to pull you, it's probably not an indulgence, it's a necessity. So for me, that's reading fiction. Because when I'm so busy and I absolutely do not have time to waste reading fiction, and I will, pour a tub and sink in there with a book for half an hour, inevitably the next day something will happen and I'll think, oh, I literally just read this last night.
Isn't that fun?
Ooh. Yeah, because pattern recognition, right? You were talking about that.
Yeah.
We are pattern recognizers. And what fiction does is it gives us the ability to take the pressure off of solving something and just soak in the patterns for fun. And then we have them.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of it that way. I love that. I used to read a lot of fiction, and lately, in the last few years, I read less fiction, more personal development biographies, and I love them, but I've made sort of I'm making a concerted effort now to read more fiction. I just got a new book. It's called The Other Einstein.
Oh.
And but it's loosely based on the actual relationship between Einstein and his wife.
Yes. Sorry.
You know what? No, you say it.
No, keep going. I want to know
Yeah.
what you know that I don't know.
Okay, so I actually I saw this on an Instagram post, and because Instagram is so helpful with all these things, and I unpacked it with somebody else. So apparently, most of the most well-known theories that Einstein had are believed to have been arrived at because he did a lot of this work with his wife.
Yeah.
And when they separated or divorced, he no longer came up with these brilliant things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's the theory. I just started. I'm in like page 2, so I can't even unpack that further than that.
Well, and I haven't read the book. I'm making a note of it now. I have read some of that before, and I think some of that was couples who split up don't always do the best for each other, and some of that, of course, was welcome to being a woman at the time, and to a certain extent, welcome to being a woman now. There's still
absolutely. Yeah. There's some of that still. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some of that was the only way her ideas were going to get advanced with any regularity was through a man.
Yeah.
So, and not that means, well, gosh, golly, let's let everybody off the hook.
Right.
But to have a level of understanding of that. And when we're working on trauma cycles, and again, I won't go into the science behind it, that if you had mentioned an inherited trauma cycle 20 years ago, everybody scientifically and in day-to-day would look at you and go, that's so cute of you.
Yeah.
The science is building up, and it's happening faster and faster where they're going, oh, our DNA changes, our brains change.
Absolutely. And that would have been like a heretic kind of thought.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a running joke in our classes how many things people say that would have had them burned as a witch. And
sometimes we count them just for fun.
I love that. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely me. For sure. Right. Amazing. I could talk to you all day, but I want to be sensitive to your time.
Oh, this is amazing.
You're going to have to come back to visit, and maybe we'll pull Dan into the conversation because this will be really fun to unpack.
That's amazing.
Love to anytime.
Yeah. Love to.
So leave me with this. What were your clients? What would they say to describe you? What would they say about working with you? How would they describe that?
I can answer for Dana, or do you want to for both of us?
Yeah, take it away, whoever wants to.
If you have an answer for me or for us,
I do have an answer for you.
I have an answer for Dana, which is that people will pull me aside, especially in groups, especially in couples, and they'll say, that was such an amazing session. We had such a wonderful time. I learned so much. I feel so much better. I feel a little bad because I'm obviously Dana's favorite. And then the next person will come up, or the other person in the couple, and say exactly the same thing. I am obviously Dana's favorite.
Fun. I love that.
So I love that everybody feels so understood and appreciated by him. So I think that's a lot of the takeaway, because when we're understood, we're willing to move forward because we're safe too.
That's right. You're creating psychological safety.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. For Colleen, literally these words have been said to me about people's individual experiences with her. And usually it goes something along the lines of, that darn Colleen. And then what follows it is, I came in all determined and that I could get through this, and I was never going to move this thing, and it's been bugging me for 15 years and I've never been able to get around it. And she just looked at me and smiled and kept nodding and nodding. And then before we were done the session, by the end of it, I was the one talking about all the possibilities of how I could actually move this and how much of it had already moved, even in the hour that we had together, and recognize that that was an entire 180 from where I started. That is my consistent feedback from people, because and it speaks to what I was speaking to you earlier with the both of you. She does it so gently, and people are amazed by the power of that. and how they thought it was going to be a big, big sword drawn fight and battle and scrap for every inch. And she's like, yeah, okay, sure. Or we could just move it like this.
Oh, it's an art. Colleen, amazing. I need to learn more from you. That's awesome. So the Digital Dojo .net is where people can find you. Where else are you hanging out online? And how do people connect with you, leverage this wonderful goodness for themselves?
Yeah, we're trying more and more to list everything on the digitaldojo.net. And honestly, we should have said it more times out loud before we used it, because it's weird to say sometimes.
No, I have a hard time. Sometimes my tongue doesn't go that way.
Well, I have a hard time every 10th time I say it, and I say it a lot.
Because your powerful brains are moving faster than your tongue.
I think that's exactly it.
I think that's what it is. I'm telling you.
So you can find, like, we're listing all the fabulous podcasts that we've been on there. That page is coming up. We've got a free 3-day mindset reset on there, so people can have a little taste test to see if there's anything on there. The wonderful woman who, I'm so sorry, her name is escaping me, who was talking about email marketing, was
Liz
talking.
Wilcox.
Thank you.
Liz was awesome.
Liz was awesome. And
I'll connect you. I'll send her an email and introduce you.
Oh gosh, we'd love to.
Yeah. And she was talking about
that episode.
Making sure that you say, here's what we want to give you, and here's what we have to sell as well, to let people know the fullness. So we have a free white belt introduction on there. We also have some 6-week digital classes on there that you can take at your own pace. We're just really starting to expand into YouTube, which is really fun.
Ooh, me too. How fun. I need to go check you guys out.
Yeah,
please do.
And
we've already followed you and found you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
And we're really learning. I'm learning how to use Instagram, because I don't know how to use Instagram, but we're on there now as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're on.
Well, come
YouTube.
hang out with me a couple hours. I'll walk you through on the IG.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Take me up on it. You're fun.
Very good on it. Yeah.
Well, I was a beginner once upon a time.
There you go.
And I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
There's actually a new functionality on Instagram. You know how you can post reels?
Yes.
Well, now Instagram so reels typically are shown to your people. But now you can post reels. I forget what they call them. Secret reels. I don't know, but you post them and they don't go to your followers.
Yes.
They go to other people who don't follow you. And then the people who are your followers can't see it, but it's interesting to see. And a lot of people are actually going viral because their content is hitting brand new people. So super interesting. And now in Facebook just announced that they are everything that uploads as a video is going to be a reel, not a video. So that's the other thing. Oh, and CapCut just announced, and I know I'm dating myself here with this, but if you use CapCut, go and make sure that you check out their new terms of service, because they're very onerous. And a lot of people are right now advising against using it. And because you're signing away your rights to use them. So if you upload a video, it's theirs. And and then they can sell it, use it for advertising for other people. And if other companies sue them, you're liable as well. So go check that out.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, I did a deep dive into this last night. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. But yeah, so Instagram is where they find you. They can also find you at the digitaldojo.net, and we'll have it all in the show notes. And Colleen and Dana, thank you so much for coming to Casa de Confidence.
Oh my gosh. Thanks so much for having us, Julie.
Well, you have an open invitation. Come back. We got to have you back. We'll have another party. But thank you for joining me. And my friends, what an amazing conversation. This is going to go on the books as one of my faves, moving up to the top. So make sure, if you heard this, go and let Dana and Colleen know what you loved about this. What was the one thing that really resonated with you? And of course, if something resonated with you, you know that this also resonates with that friend or family member or even stranger that perhaps may be able to get some of these tips and tools in just goodness for their own tool belt and for their journey to confidence. So thank you, everybody. And until next time, don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to Casa de Confidence. We thank you for listening. And if you want more, go to casadeconfidencepod.com. Check Julie out on her socials as Julie DeLucca-Collins. And you can also check out her website at goconfidentlycoaching.com. Have a great week, and don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams.
Hi, everybody. I know that sometimes we get very lonely in this entrepreneur journey, and I want to invite you to join us into our limited time only Purposeful You Mastermind. For many of us entrepreneurs, we believe that we can do it all. But the reality is that doing it alone only creates a lot of overwhelm. So join us at the Purposeful You Mastermind. You can find out more information by going to bit.ly/Julie's Mastermind. This is going to be the place where you are able to then unlock your full potential and achieve long-term success for your business. Push you behind your current limits, expand your connections, discover new ideas, and implement them with confidence. You're going to get the support in all aspects and transforming you to the six-figure business you've been looking for. Pause and get off the hamster wheel if you've been spinning around. This is a time where you can get that support from like-minded entrepreneurs that are here to join you in your journey. Together, we can challenge the assumptions and land the speaking engagements and opportunities we want to grow our business and make an impact in the lives of people. See you then. Remember, you can find the mastermind at bit.ly, Julie's Mastermind.